Voting rights have been in the spotlight big time ever since the contentious presidential election last year. And Georgia's lawmakers followed up with a new law that critics blast as voter suppression, targeting people of color. Businesses and public figures have boycotted the state. And NewsNation correspondent Marky Martin is taking a look tonight at one of the next battleground states in terms of voting rights and showing us that this battle is certainly not limited to Georgia.
Yeah, all eyes have been on Georgia, but things are really heating up here in Texas when it comes to voter laws. In fact, some people calling it the next battleground state for the issue and how to navigate elections moving forward. The colossal clash over voting laws is growing bigger by the day in Texas.
I just want to vote.
With lawmakers and major corporations trading contentious blows over the issue.
It's always been the case that big business wants to get in bed with big government. These woke corporations have decided to become the political enforcer for Democrats in Washington.
Last week, hundreds of companies, including heavyweights like Facebook, Netflix, and Microsoft, released a joint statement opposing Republican-led legislation in states like Georgia and Texas to restrict the voting process.
There's no evidence of voter fraud to support these bills.
Texas-based giants American Airlines and Dell Technologies announced their aversion to tightening voter laws as House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7 make their way through state legislature. In tandem, the bills would restrict early voting hours, limit polling locations and mail-in ballots, and ban most drive-through voting for Texans. In response to American and Dell's opposition, Texas Republican Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick released a statement saying, quote, "Texans are fed up with corporations that don't share our values trying to dictate public policy. The majority of Texans support maintaining the integrity of our elections."
Their primary goal is to limit voter fraud. That is obviously not something that happens as frequently as they say it does, but it is certainly something that their base cares about.
State Democrats say they're concerned that these legislative efforts would limit opportunities for Texans and Americans to vote.
And has suppression implications and ramifications.
Make it harder for counties, like the County Elections Division right here in Travis County, to do things like sending out vote-by-mail applications, promoting vote-by-mail applications, which have proven to be safe.
On Wednesday alone, the Texas House Elections Committee considered a dozen more Republican bills with the same end goal. The GOP zeroing in on Houston's Harris County, one of the largest and most racially diverse in the country.
You did have a situation in Harris County where they kind of made up election laws that went along, not cleared.
Not to mention the state's Democratic stronghold. Additionally, on Wednesday, State Representative Briscoe Cain, a Republican, proposed financial penalties for corporate entities that threaten any adverse action against Texas in protest of election legislation in the years 2020, 2021, and 2022 under the watch of Governor Greg Abbott. And Governor Greg Abbott has taken up election integrity as one of his top priorities during this legislative session. And just a reminder, Texas is the largest state in which Republicans have vowed to bring sweeping changes after President Donald Trump claimed that voter fraud cost him the 2020 presidential election. Reporting in Texas, Marky Martin, NewsNation.